Hey guys, it's Anne-Marie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I just have another speed paint that I did. See, I did this yesterday, I think? Yeah. And this is a speed paint of another one of my friend's D&D characters. This is Aeris. He's a Aarakocra, and he's chaotic neutral, I believe. He's definitely chaotic, that's for sure. But yeah, I already did the sketch, so this is pretty much just like the line art and the coloring. And I forgot to draw a choker that he was supposed to be wearing, so there's that. Today was the first day all week that I actually went outside, which isn't good, but it is a fact nonetheless. So my dad took my family out to go eat just go eat out in town, and we went to this Mexican place, and it was pretty good. Their queso was so good. I'm pretty sure I filled up mostly on chips and queso, as I usually do. So yeah, that was... So I finally got around to using one of the Christmas presents I got, which was this like really soft robe that my aunt and uncle got me. It's not a bathrobe. It feels like I'm wearing a blanket. Like, I have a blanket that feels exactly like this, and it's so nice. There's a bunch of tags all over it because it was like folded up, really cool. But it's really nice, and it'll keep me nice and warm. I guess when I'm in the house, because I probably won't wear it outside. So here I'm lining Aeris' skirt, which I really like doing because for the sketch I just like really jaggedly ran my like stylus across the screen to make his skirt, and I really liked how it came out. Also, you'll probably see this later. I'm inking his leg right now, but like after it, see, I took away the sketch and I realized his foot was like really big, so I made it a lot thinner because his foot looked really thick for some reason. And then I did his other leg because the legs on him are really weird. But here's me doing the rest of the skirt. And then I went back to doing his leg, and his legs are really weird because it has this like bend in it. So I had to like draw that without making it look weird. And I was really happy about how the legs came out on here too, because I'm not really used to drawing any like anthropomorphic people. So, oh, the wings too. I was struggling with the wings because they looked really simple, and I didn't want them to look too simple. So I just tried to make them look as feathery as possible. And I was fooling around with another pen. Like, it was a fade pen that like went from like thick to thin, I guess. And I did like a ton of strokes over there to try and get it to work. And I eventually got it to work. So now I'm finally starting to color. And it looks weird right now because he's like an off-white, because I didn't want him to be like just white. So yeah. And then he has like these blue shadows that I thought looked really cool. And yeah, like pretty much all Aeris is just black and white, which is kind of weird because he's on like a pretty much white background right now. So it's kind of hard for me, and he like just kind of looks monotone, I guess, with his colors. Also, he's shirtless, so so I wanted to like add details to his belt to make him seem like a little bit more detailed, because he's kind of plain. So I did that, and then I wanted to add spikes to this belt, and I forgot that I had line art there, so I had to add more line art. So yeah, there's that. So once I finally got rid of the line art beneath the spikes, I started coloring the spikes in. I kept coloring it in on the wrong layer, so I had to keep going back and doing it. And then I drew these circles for the other spikes, and they all look really bad. Like, so I tried to go over it with line art to make it look cleaner. That one still looks really bad though. So I had to erase it and fill it in a bunch. The last thing I had to do was fill in the color. And once the color was done, I could finally start shading. Shading the spikes was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I thought I could make them look like spikes. Instead, I just made them look kind of round-ish. Also, I still, I tried doing like a circle thing and then I gave up on it and just went to the next one where I continued to try to do the circle thing and it still looked weird. But yeah, I still suck at shading and I kept going back and forth to that picture to try and see how my friend shaded this in, and I couldn't get it down. What is that? That's so bad. So I just started throwing shading wherever, and then I instantly regretted it and had to erase most of it, as I'm doing now. So yeah, and once I stopped erasing that, I went onto the wings and tried to make them look decent, I guess. I was having a hard time figuring out where to shade, I guess. So I was like, okay, light source is going from here, but that doesn't make sense, so I had to erase that entire thing, and I was just adding shadows at this point. That was bold. I just started adding huge shadows to everything and just praying that it was gonna work out. But I think it worked out pretty well in the end. I made that arm and that wing way darker, just to be ooh, it's behind it, so it's darker. Even though by that logic, the other wing should be darker too, but that doesn't matter. So then I just went back to just shading like crazy because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I added these lines to the skirt. I don't know why I did that, but it doesn't look bad, so I guess it's fine. And then I did the leg. The leg wasn't that bad, I guess. It's just kind of, yeah, I guess the leg looks fine. And then instead of shading that leg, I just filled it all in. Because I was like, you know what, that one's behind it, it's fine. It's probably darker, it's fine. So then I started trying to do the highlights, except Aeris is already white, so it's hard to give him highlights because the brightest color there is white. So, which is why I made him an off-white in the first place, so that I could have highlights. And so I tried to get it as white as I could without making it completely absolute white. And then I added purple because purple goes pretty well with him, and you know, yeah. That way, since it's a darker color, he'll stand out a little bit more. Oh, and I really liked looking at him without his line art because I thought it looked cool. But yeah, that's it. And I hope you liked it.